to the TV part of the show, and that is The Simpsons. This December is releasing a Futurama / Simpsons crossover, and this September is releasing a Family Guy / Simpsons crossover. And then Al Jean, the producer of said, he was the producer of Futurama, that has been ended, but he's still the producer of The Simpsons, has said that there's a possibility that they might bring all three franchises together. And I just found that very, very interesting because these are three of Fox's best-known, longest-running shows. I mean, I can't think of any Fox TV show that has run even... I mean, there's not many TV shows in general that have run as long as The Simpsons, but been as successful for them. Fox seems to be the channel that you go to watch cartoons, whereas like ABC and NBC, you'll go to watch people live-action dramas.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, yeah, and so I'm just curious about how they're going to do this, because since they've already planned the Family Guy and Simpsons one, which I was reading about that, and that sounds really cool, because Al Jean said pretty much the Family Guy guys were the ones... That's weird to say, Family Guy guys. I feel like I'm in South Park. I'm not a Family Guy guy. That's not me. Did you ever see that South Park episode?
I did see that South Park episode.
The manatees pick... All right. So the Family Guys, yeah, that's how I'll say it from now on. The Family Guys are going to be, they're the ones really running this whole thing for the Simpsons / Family Guy crossover. So it's going to be actually a 1-hour episode. It's going to be the season premiere of Family Guy this September. And it's pretty cool because Al Jean said, really, out of the whole script, now Family Guy gets a little bit more risque than Simpsons usually does, so there's a little bit of boundaries there. I guess they didn't want to cross too much. And there was one part where Al Jean, or one of the producers of the Family Guy show, said, Al Jean asked us to remove like 3 lines out of the whole thing or soften them up. And they were like, wow, that's pretty nice. You know, they're not really trying to put their hands in our mix too much. They're letting us really run with it. And he was like, Al Jean, the biggest thing he wanted us to do was cut out some of the rape jokes. And we were like, no. And he was like, well, I tried. So we're gonna see a very interesting Family Guy Simpsons episode. And I wonder how they're going to do it. Are they going to keep the Simpsons yellow and with 3 fingers?
Yeah, I'm also wondering which show is it going to be on? Is it going to be on just like its own special, or
it's going to be a Family Guy episode? It will be a Family Guy episode. So I imagine it's going to be the Simpsons in the Family Guy animation and everything like that. So it's just going to be pretty cool. I mean, those are 2. I mean, Simpsons, to be honest with you, they're going on year 26, I believe. They're really ready to die. They've been ready to die for the past like 15 years, but they've been kept
honestly
afloat.
I think that they hit their peak like when they did their movie, and after the movie it was just like, hey, I think they were even thinking to themselves, hey, you know what we've accomplished all we've ever wanted to accomplish. We have a movie now. Mm-hmm. We put everything into that. We're done. Whatever.
I even think the show on TV was already done before the movie came out. But the movie actually I thought was pretty entertaining. So, but I thought the show had already been, let's let it go away. It should have been the movie was the end of the whole series. I think that would have wrapped it up very nicely. Then you can still do these crossover things, but who knows?
Yeah, although this is kind of an interesting setup because, I don't think there's any question that Family Guy got its initial chance because it was set up very similar to The Simpsons, and The Simpsons had done so well.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
I mean,
now you're seeing
really pioneers of this.
Yeah, and so now you're seeing Family Guy pay that homage to The Simpsons and incorporate them in and get that crossover going. I mean, obviously they're not competitive with each other. They've always been on the same station with each other anyway.
They usually run back to back. One leads into the other, so that's they actually helped each other more than hurt each other. So yeah. Yeah,
exactly. So it'll be kind of interesting to see what they do with it. That's that though. But I'm kind of more interested in that next crossover you were talking about.
The Futurama and Simpsons crossover. I think that'll be a better one. And apparently that's gonna, since Futurama is canceled now, and I don't want to say canceled. I want to say they just brought it to an end. Yeah, they brought it to an end last year, I believe, and I think so what's going to happen is it will be a Simpsons episode, so I bet it's going to be the Futurama people coming to the Simpsons timeline, which will be interesting because a lot of those characters kind of mirror each other. Like Fry is kind of Homer. Bender's almost Bart, you know, like so it'll be interesting to see how those characters
Maybe
react.
a little bit, but
I mean,
yeah, I
the
mean,
basic
Futurama's.
outline of those characters are mirrors of each other.
I think that's a little bit
Agree with
arguable.
me. Just agree with me. Just agree. Just agree.
Only like maybe only
Just
in
agree.
a
Disagree.
very small amount. Like no. They're not like each other. Like it's not a mirror.
Just agree. Just agree with what I
It's
say.
actually surprising how different Futurama. Like they had some of the same humor, but how different Futurama was in style from The Simpsons was
Well,
always
I
pretty
know a lot of people
awesome.
who love The Simpsons and hate Futurama, or hate The Simpsons and love Futurama. I mean, it's very weird. I personally liked Futurama a little bit more than The Simpsons.
Oh, I
And
definitely like Futurama more. I like The
so,
Simpsons. I like The Simpsons
yeah,
just fine, but I definitely like Futurama more.
yeah.
Had a little bit more to it. I thought.
Yeah, I did. I agree. I agree. It just had a little bit more depth to it. It was just a little more fun. It was a little more lighthearted, I'd say, too, than The Simpsons was. But neither one of those shows was really heavy. I mean, they are cartoons, so you know. I mean,
Well, hey,
not that big of a difference.
Futurama though did have some of the like saddest shows on television ever.
Yeah, it did. I cried a couple times.
The dog episode.
The dog episode, or the episode where Fry found out that his brother didn't steal his 7-leaf
Yeah,
clover,
the nephew episode. Yeah, that one. That was.
just gave it to his nephew, and then named his nephew after Fry. I thought that was a good episode. The God episode, I don't know, you remember where they're looking for Bender's Lost in Space? I thought that was a pretty cool episode.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Like they had all that comedy, and that was why the like the ridiculous comedy, which I loved, right? Absurd stuff going on, and then they would throw in these episodes that you weren't expecting to hit so hard, and probably they were more impactful because you were expecting this stupid comedy thing, and then they're like, oh man, that's sad, like.
Oh, hey, that's thought provoking there. Yeah, that's why I love Futurama, is because it was always coming out of left field. It was definitely. Again, it was a lighter show, but it had a little more depth to it than some of those other cartoons, and some of the other cartoons do now. And
they could do more ridiculous stuff because it wasn't tied as much to reality. Because it's 1,000 years in the future where they have all kinds of weird technology, and they think that all of our assumptions are stupid. Like whatever, they just do whatever they want.
Mm-hmm. Good times. I mean, good times. So
presidents that are just talking heads in a jar, like whatever.
But then to have all three of those franchises kind of come together into one might be pretty cool too. Seeing like Bender interact with Peter or something like that, you know. So, they got big plans for these franchises. Even though Futurama's kind of gone, it's still in our hearts and minds.
I think they're all of them are at this point kind of dying out though, like Futurama, Family Guy at this point seems to be, it's been also kind of on a downward trend. Maybe it's trying to keep afloat a little bit by just being shocking. Like that seems to be what, like, hey, let's generate buzz about our show by doing next shocking thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But and like you said, The Simpsons kind of been going downhill for a while and all that. So this might be, maybe this will rejuvenate a few of them. Maybe it'll just be a nice last hurrah. Maybe it's just a gimmick to try and milk something out while they can.
Well, here's me hoping that it's kind of the last hurrah for The Simpsons, and they end on a high note rather than the low notes they've been hitting. And I have read something that the Simpsons are going to kill off one of their major characters. Apparently, this voice actor was an Emmy Award winner at one point, so it will be one of their major characters. So hopefully, this is just The Simpsons winding themselves down, not turning into like the soap operas that have been on TV for like 30 years. And the story is, you slept with my twin brother cousin. And now he's an alien. Yeah, that's
one of their major characters, like one of the family members.
I have no idea. I don't. They didn't say who, but they said that it was voiced by an Emmy Award winner. So I'm sure all of those guys have won Emmys at one point. They've been on the air for so long. So, but let us know what you think. Are you excited about seeing all these crossovers? What do you think a good plot line would be for one of these? Let us know in the comments down below. Of course, at Words For My Face on Twitter, wordsformyface@gmail.com, Google+, and as always, Facebook. I'd like to know what you guys think about it. It'd be interesting. So let's move it on.